Kawasaki Z800 came into India in January 2014 and immediately took the throne of being one of the best motorcycles to buy in sub 10 lakh range. At that point, it was the most affordable inline 4-cylinder machine in India and one that had the goods to back up the looks. Today we are joined by Hemin Sebastian, who has owned the Z800 for over a year and a half now. He has already taken this naked monster to places like Ooty and Kodaikanal. Hello Hemin, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Pleasure is mine, Aarti. Nice meeting you too.
So Hemin, why the Kawasaki Z800 and has it lived up to your expectations?
Absolutely, the Z800 indeed has lived up to my expectations. I think this is the best bike available in the market today, in my honest opinion, which can be used for both street and track purposes. When I went out looking for a bike, this was the first one on my list because the short gearing ratios allows you to ride around the city at around 60 kilometers an hour on the 6th gear, the top gear, which is exceptionally good. And more than that, the muscular styling, the entire Sugami concept that this bike has is splendid. And to talk about the design, this is the Kawasaki's anniversary edition on their Z category bikes. So it's a completely new bike done up from scratch. The entire design, the fuel tank, the headlamps pulled down. It's a complete aggressive styling which you would want on a street bike. And this fits the bill. And of course, being an inline 4, the smoothness that it offers you is next to nothing. And all of this package put together, the price point which Kawasaki offers it for Indian customers as a CBU built unit is something that you can never resist. So I went ahead, took the plunge, and I'm happy about it.
Alright, so how does it feel to ride this bike around, as in terms of handling, braking, stability and comfort?
A very decent bike in all those departments. The bike is indeed heavy on papers, weighs around 236 kilograms wet. That's a lot if you ask me. But all that weight disappears the moment you slot it onto the first gear and you keep rolling. In terms of the ground clearance, it has no problems in our Indian roads with all the pothole roads that you have around in India, especially in Bangalore, because the bike is taller in that department, but that converts to a lot of problems for the rider. If you are any shorter than 5'6", 5'7", you're going to tiptoe at every stop-go or at every signal. That will become a bit concern for you because the bike is heavy when it stops. But apart from that, and coming to braking, the 310mm pedals in the front and the 250mm pedals at the back aid absolutely tremendously awesome in the braking department. I haven't had any problems or any surprises while using it on the track or off the track. So very happy with the braking. They do have good initial bite and thereafter that they're very progressive as too. So very happy with the braking department as well. So in terms of handling and braking, I would give really good points to this bike on that. Well, Aarti, in terms of comfort, the seats on the bike are pretty stiff. So if you're going to be doing touring, a brake every 200-250 kilometers is advisable on the bike, both for the rider and the pillion. And coming to the stability of the bike, well, as I said in the beginning, since the bike is heavy, it is planted on the highway. You have absolutely no vibrations, and of course, it being an inline 4, it cuts out all the vibes from the engine to the rider. In terms of the riding position, it's somewhere between an aggressive and a comfort level. So you're not sitting upright and neither are you fully on an aggressive sport mode position. So it's just a matter of time you get used to it. And also in the overall suspension bit of this bike, the suspensions are adjustable. So you can go from softer to stiff settings based on your requirements. That applies to both front and back. So for your track days, you can go to stiff settings, and for your normal touring and commuting, you can go to softer settings. And in this department, the bike performs really well. I'm pretty happy about it.
Okay, so how about owning and maintenance of this bike?
It's a part and parcel what you get when you own a super bike. The maintenance is quite high when compared to a normal bike here. But again, Kawasaki doesn't have such a huge good service network in Bangalore or in India, to be very precise. Parts take a long time to come in. So we go to independent garages, especially I would like to mention Joe's Garage, which is owned by Mr. Joseph Raj Singh. So he helps us in maintaining them. So a regular maintenance wherein your oil filters are changed, your oil is topped up or oils are changed, air coolant top up, would cost you somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000, which is pretty okay. And the maintenance and service intervals are between 6,000 kilometers or 6 months. So on an average, you spend around 10,000 rupees annually without any part replacement. So that's pretty decent for a Japanese bike, for such a powerful bike in India. And of course, you do have the factor of considering tires here, because these tires do get heated up because of the speeds that you can do on the bike. So every 10,000 kilometers on an average, you need to change the tires. The stock tires last only for around 6,000 kilometers if you're going to be doing spirited riding. So I've changed the tires on the bike, and for a set it cost me somewhere close to 20,000. That's pretty okay to live with, in my honest opinion. So apart from the tires and the brake pads, you don't have anything else that comes as a regular maintenance on this vehicle, and which can be costlier. The bike is very built like a bullet, and goes very fast.
Alright, Hemin, so do you say that this bike comes as perfect, or do you have any recommended modifications to make it even better?
No, it doesn't come as perfect, because every country that they send it to has to meet some sort of norms and compliance factors. So as recommended upgrades on the bike, I have gone with the standard protection. That's your frame sliders, engine guards and rear spools, which will protect in case of a fall. And I've also gone with the aftermarket slip-on and an air filter. So that's the standard rule. If you're changing your slip-on appliances, go with an aftermarket filter to let it breathe more easily. And I also put in a fluid screen, which will help me during my high-speed blast touring endeavors. So that helps a lot. And apart from this, for my track days, I've put in on aftermarket race tires and also a quick shifter that helps me shave off those precious seconds while I'm on the lap. That's pretty much the package that I've done on the bike after I bought it in.
Alright, Hemin, it was wonderful to know about this bike, and you definitely seem to be happy owning it. Thank you so much for your valuable inputs.
The pleasure was mine, Aarti. And just on a signing note, I would want to mention that anyone looking to upgrade to a larger capacity bike, this is the best choice, and trust me, nobody would regret it. Thank you so much.
So guys, that's the Kawasaki Z800 for you all. Hope you all liked the video. Do share your comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.